You are not overworked. You're doing shit that you hate, and that is why you're experiencing burnout. The real cause of burnout is doing shit that you don't love and having created a life for yourself that inherently carries so much resistance that you are not looking forward to the way that you spend your days. You need to design a life that you love, and this includes your work, your relationships, and the way that you spend your free time, the way that you want to feel. You have to think about that. How do you want to feel every day? And are the choices that you are making going to result in that outcome? People get so off course and misguided from what we're truly meant to experience here. We did not come here to hate our lives. We did not come here to feel stressed out and overworked and taken advantage of, and to feel like we're living a life of obligation, filled with responsibilities that we resent, that don't feel good inside. Do you really think that that is why you were placed on this earth? Whatever it is that you're doing right now that you feel like you have to do, and maybe you feel like you're a slave to it, and you feel like there's no way out, there is. I promise you there is. I know that this is really hard to come to terms with sometimes, but none of us are victims. We are all making choices every single day that are leading to the outcome that we are experiencing. So if you don't like something about your life and you feel like you can't handle everything that you're dealing with, know that you took that on. You made that choice. And the thing is, this is actually really empowering, because if you took it on and you made that choice, then you have the power to redirect and to make a different choice and to change your life dramatically. And I can tell you that if you experience true burnout, where it's not just I'm tired and exhausted after work, you feel completely drained, that is a sign. That is a very clear indicator, a flashing sign that you are not living in alignment. Something needs to change. You can't continue on this way. If the choices that you've made up until this point have gotten you to where you are now, you're gonna need to make different choices if you want to be somewhere else in the future. If you want your life to continue looking the way that it does now, and to feel the way that it does, and to feel burned out and stressed and overwhelmed and like you just can't handle it and you need an out, then keep making the choices that you've been making. But I just find it so sad that so many people are living this way, and then they require substances and different unhealthy coping mechanisms in order just to take the edge off, just to feel okay, just to relieve some of that stress and pressure, because it's so hard to live in resistance. You know what I mean when I say that? It's like you're trying to swim through molasses. It's just so heavy. So people then need to come home and smoke a bowl and watch TV and just mindlessly scroll, and they need to numb out. They need to numb themselves because they're just so exhausted that it's almost involuntary, this need to just cope. And it's just no way to live because you're wasting your life. Think about it. If you're working a job that you hate and it burns you out and you're not inspired by it and you feel forced to do this thing every day and you feel like it's stealing your entire life from you, and then it's so exhausting and it takes up so much of your energy that then when you get home, all you can do is check out and get drunk or high or zone out into the hypnotization of the television screen. Now you're just pissing the rest of your life away because you need to recuperate from the 2/3 of your life that you spend at this job that you hate. So then the other third of your life that you could enjoy, you don't even have energy to enjoy. Don't you think that there's gotta be a different way? Visualize how you want to wake up every morning. Do you want to start working right away? Do you want to wake up and have a slow morning? Do you want to enjoy your coffee? Do you want to go for a walk? Do you want to go work out? Think about what steps could you take to get there? Do you need to make a career change? Are there jobs that you could do that would facilitate the kind of lifestyle that you desire? I have had to do this. I've done this in my life. I used to work a job where I clocked in for 8 hours a day, and I never had like a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday office job, but I had a job where I had to clock in and work 40 hours a week, and I had to work weekends a lot, and I had to work at night a lot. And I wanted freedom. You have to get clear on what your values are, okay? My biggest value in life is my freedom. So I thought, what could I do that would give me more freedom? Or just something. And I also knew that I was getting way too stressed at my job because I had worked my way into management and I hated it. And I shouldn't say I hated it. I really liked where I worked, but it's very stressful. And I know that my personal nervous system doesn't handle that level and that type of stress, I should say, because I can handle a high degree of stress of a certain kind of stress. Because when I worked as a server, that's really fast paced, high speed. It's stressful. You have a lot going on. You're managing, you're multitasking, you're managing a lot of things. But I love that. I get into the flow. It's like, I love it. The type of stress in management, no, thank you. It's like babysitting. No, thanks. Hold on, you guys. By the way, Mountain Valley, blackberry pomegranate. This is pretty good. It says like natural flavor. You know how that's not true, right? I mean, and natural flavor can just mean anything. You can tell by the taste. It's like, I don't know. There's nothing natural about this. This taste, I can taste. It's like fake. I don't know. I have no idea where they're getting this flavoring from. But anyways, so I then decided I wanted to get paid to do something that I loved. And at the time I was practicing yoga and became obsessed with it. I decided I wanted to become a yoga teacher. So I became a yoga teacher, and that gave me more freedom because you're not working an 8-hour day necessarily. You might work a couple classes a day, and I would get to hang out at the yoga studio. Very low stress, right? Super mellow atmosphere, surrounded by a lot of like-minded people, just getting to hang out in a yoga studio all day. I loved it. But the other thing you have to consider is, what comfort level do you want in your lifestyle? How much money do you want to make? I couldn't make enough money as a yoga instructor. At least not teaching classes, and I didn't want to lead retreats or do anything like that is actually the money maker. Have your own studio, do teacher trainings, etc. I didn't want to do that. So that's when I decided that I was going to become a massage therapist. Now, more factors went into that decision, but basically I realized how much money I could make hourly as a massage therapist if I work for myself. And in my head, I did the math and said, okay, well, if I can make that much every hour and then I only have to work this many hours to make this much money every week. Awesome. And so I started doing that. And at first I did have to go through a period where I worked at a day spa where they don't pay you jack shit. But I did it to get a lot of experience. I did it for 6 months. And after that, I went on my own and started doing mobile massage, going to people's houses. And I'm just telling you this because I have been able to create this lifestyle where I have freedom. Nobody tells me when I have to work. I decide when I want to work. I decide who I want to work with. I decide when I want to take time off. I take the summers off. I travel. I do whatever I want. I do not work before like 12 p.m. Maybe on the weekends, I might do something earlier. But really, my mornings are for me. I wake up, I go for a long walk, I come home, I have my breakfast. Then I go to the gym and I work out. And then I come home and I eat lunch. And then I'm ready to go work on clients for a couple of hours. And then I come home. And that's it. And I have done that because I have to do that. I could never live. To me, it's not sustainable to live in a way where you're burned out all the time. It's not manageable. Like if I don't want to have an addiction that allows me to numb out and cope, I have to design my life in a way that is tolerable, right? Because if it's not tolerable, I'm going to have to do something to alleviate the pain of living a life that's intolerable. And I don't want to do that. So you maybe you need to reevaluate. Maybe you need to do something different, and you can. You can do anything. Do you want to be able to wake up in the morning and have a cup of coffee and just listen to a podcast and not have to rush to a job? Do you want to be able to spend time in nature every day? Like, where do you live? Maybe you need to move. There's so many different ways to design your life. But whatever it is that you're dealing with and experiencing right now, the harsh truth is that you have made these choices that have led you to where you are. There isn't anyone else to blame for it. You can't blame the job or anything. You're choosing it. I don't care how much you feel that you don't have a choice, you do. And everyone has it ingrained in them by our society that there's only one way, and that is to have a 40-hour-a-week job that pays well, regardless of how much energy it siphons from you and how much of your time it steals. And I don't know everything, far from it, but I know one thing for certain, and it is that you did not come here to live a life operating inside a system that makes you feel trapped and unfulfilled and that robs you of your joy. In fact, you came here to express yourself, period, and to enjoy your life. You came here to explore your creativity and to expand spiritually, psychologically, relationally, and energetically. I promise you, this is the truth. The last thing I will say is that I know there are a lot of people who are maybe going to comment that their circumstances are different and they have to be doing what they're doing and they don't have a choice. And I get it. There are situations where people maybe temporarily have to do something that they feel burned out, or they really have, no finances to speak of and they don't feel like there's another option. I, of course, would always challenge that. If I was to have a conversation with any of these people individually, I feel like we would get to the bottom of it and find a solution. But if you are reluctant to believe that, then at least you have to be spending the free time that you have recharging. And you need to learn the difference between numbing out and recharging, because there's a difference. Because watching TV and smoking weed and drinking, that's not recharging you. That's numbing out. That's escapism. You need to be doing things that fill you up, that recharge your batteries. Things like exercising, spending time in nature, spending time with people that you love, connecting with people, laughing, having fun. There have to be areas in your life that are defined by ease as opposed to resistance. Because if there aren't and everything feels like this slow grind, then all that is leading to is a slow and painful death. And nothing in your reality will change for the better if everything that you're choosing is in direct opposition to what your heart and soul truly desires. Burnout, it's not inevitable. It is just a sign that you really need to realign with what truly matters to you. You deserve a life that feels good every single day. So what feels good? All right. That's all for today, you guys. Thanks for watching. Catch this video next, and I will see you very soon. Bye.